That's evil. It's un-American and ungodly. Do you understand? So they expected us to figure this thing out, but we haven't. And they keep debasing our money. This is how they're enslaving us, taking away people's hope of ever entering middle class, home ownership, a sense of security, financial security. They've taken that away. That's what I mean about regression, anti-progress. It's a big deal. You think inflation is a joke? Who do you think it's hurting? Some people get a cost of living adjustment. They don't feel the pinch at all. A lot of people get that. You think the politicians are, oh, no, they're fine. Let me tell you, look into their finances and see. So they don't want to shoot themselves in the foot and say, we're going to tax the rich now. Oh, no. No, you understand? So they're spooked. They've expected something to happen, okay, where the people got the power once again, like they did when JFK took over this country and he was reissuing a new dollar, okay, the silver note. The people were taking to it. They understood this concept of sound money. And we want a little bit of progress. Gradual progress is fine because we'll increase the level of prosperity. We'll increase our standard of living, will improve over time. Doesn't matter how fast. We're satisfied. We, the people, are satisfied with just a little bit of steady, gradual progress. Has that happened? The opposite has happened, friends. The opposite. When $1 an hour in the early 1960s could afford you a middle-class life, home ownership, one person working in the family, to where it is now, and you think this is cutesy? I don't think it's cutesy at all. I think it's really evil. Really evil. And it's killing people. It's violence against the masses. That's what it is. Desperate poverty, people suffering needlessly and dying. What do you think God thinks about this? But in regard to developing your opinion about God or deriving opinion, just remember it's God's planet. And about your opinion about economics. Okay? We're God's equally beloved children. Of those things we can all agree as believers, right? So then the next question is, what would you do if you were God in that scenario? Do you see the absurdness of money? There's no need for money because it's understood all these resources on earth, and we measure, that's wealth. Wow, resources equals money, right? We can extrapolate that, right? It's as simple as that. Yeah, it's fungible assets. It's good as gold, right? Gold. There is one example of a resource. They all belong to God. We're God's equally beloved children. What would you do if you were God and you had 8 billion children? Would you play favorites? You would get no respect from your children. Okay, God can't be any less than the best parent you can imagine. Okay? There's nothing bad about God. God's not responsible for anything bad, ever. What we think of as bad, I mean, being disciplined, oh, it feels bad. Well, it has a good result, right? So when you feel guilt and shame from things, unlike any other creature doesn't have to feel these things, but we do. We know we can comprehend what sin is and guilt and shame. We've all felt these things. Pathetic. But the creatures, none of the other creatures have that kind of burden. We're unique. And like I refer back to Scripture, I got nothing. If I can't refer back to the fall of man and the subsequent curse, when God wished he didn't even create us, I got nothing. Do you understand? So that's what I offer up to you, is to let you know where I'm coming from. That's the only way to explain the punishing heat. That's the only way to explain the natural disasters. These are organic forms of suffering that bug all of us. What's going on in Florida right now with this hurricane, right? 150 mile an hour winds, that's virtually inconceivable to me. I mean, the highest wind I ever experienced was actually in Las Vegas, Nevada. 91 mile an hour winds were being reported in the valley. But I can't imagine that's unreal. I've been out in the ocean when it was over 70. That was pretty gnarly. But Everything bad, everything bad, from diseases and death is all organic bad, and these things occur across the board. The other stuff that bugs us is the stuff I talk about and point out. You understand? We have a need to serve one another. We're not satisfied. We're not content. We're not gratified unless we feel useful and appreciated. So this idea that society could ever break down if you took away money out of the equation, and it's understood that we're all born unthinkably wealthy. You understand? This is not a socialist, capitalist, transcends all that political and economic BS that you hear from the world, the secular world, and your training and teaching and all that crap. It transcends all that crap. You understand? And clears the slate. Say, I want to see through God's eyes. How would God have it? I want to please God. I need to understand the heart and mind of God, his character, his nature, his personality, his will for me and for us as a family. In order to please him and to find true, real, everlasting happiness, what must we do? And evil men must be thrown down, and each and every form of money must be thrown down. And those people would be utterly miserable if they couldn't get an advantage over the masses. Do you understand? So what are you going to do if you're God? You say, well, then you got to go here, right? And all you that understand the heart and mind of God and want that, zealously want God's will to be established on earth, then you come on over here in a world without any form of money, and you're going to learn to get along like my beloved children with each other, treating each other the way you want to be treated, living by the golden rule. And you'll figure it out that you don't need money. And yes, it's okay to be prosperous, and I would love that. I would love to enjoy prosperity, but I can't under this scenario. And a lot of other people feel that way too. I would feel utterly guilty to live an extravagant life. Well, better men and women than me, Jesus Christ, that he himself was one of the least of men. That would be the downtrodden. That would be the desperately poor. That would be the homeless. You understand how we're in trouble? How, because we've been deluded, we've allowed ourselves to be deluded. We've accepted this scenario, this dystopian scenario we're all headed to, careening of destruction, because evil men like drunken, spoiled brat children have taken over, hijacked the bus or the ship of fools, and they're saying, no, we love power so much, we don't care. We will forget stepping on your toes, forget cutting your throat. We'll commit genocide. They've proven over and over in history that evil men are willing to do that. And you think that element, that caliber of people, that mentality of people has disappeared and they're gone? No. No. What's going on with NATO and Germany and the nukes and all this poses a huge threat. It's written that they're even going to fight against the return of Christ. Do you understand that these people know more than they're letting on to? This whole smash, wow, we hit an asteroid, we could do this. So, I'm not saying anybody in NASA is aware of the plans of these people, but there's stuff that is known. This top secret, classified, under national security, all this stuff, they're keeping you in the dark. They don't want you empowered with the knowledge, right? Knowledge is power. They don't want you confused and discombobulated and disunited. That's what the evil men want. They want to keep that. If they ever lose that, they know their goose is cooked. And the lights are starting to flash bright for them to say, you're going down. God will not tolerate you, bullies, running the lives of the righteous, decent people that just want to live in peace and harmony, safety, security, freedom, and prosperity for everybody. All the inhabitants of earth are all willing. That's what the righteous want for everybody, because they want to do God's will. They want God's will established on earth. Do you understand? So the evil men know that their time is short. Like Satan knows his time is short. That critical mass that has been manipulating us since the dawn of our creation. There could be similar stories being told out all across the universe, all through every galaxy, many times over, millions of times. I believe that's very possible. The way God likes to create stuff. Oh yeah, and how long has he been at it? We don't know. How long will he be at it? Forevermore. You understand? And he can give us a body that doesn't die, and we don't overpopulate because he controls fertility. How you can overpopulate when God says, "Well, you're populated enough. That's it. I'm satisfied with the population on this planet. I'm pulling the fertility plug." Talk about a different reality, huh? But that day is coming, perfect. You can imagine a world that's perfect down to the smallest detail. Just write a list of all the things you'd get rid of and all the things you'd add, organic and inorganic. That's the artificial stuff invented by evil men. That's the suffering that makes me crazy. That better men and women than me are suffering and sometimes dying out on the streets. That's not okay with me. Is that okay with you? And we allow this to perpetuate, get worse. Well, we, the taxpayers, subsidize housing costs for poor people to the tune of $50 billion a year. But I'm some kind of communist, Marxist, radical, liberal, when actually I'm a registered Republican and I believe in capitalism, because I believe that that money would be better spent, far better spent, to just buy poor people houses. Duh, because eventually there's light at the end of the tunnel and you're done. But instead, all that $50 billion each and every year goes in the pockets of fat cats and exacerbates the problem of homelessness, the problem of affordable housing being unavailable to people on regular wages, minimum wage, close thereabouts, or even double that. Nowadays, you can't buy a home. You can't enter middle class. Everybody knows what I'm saying is true. We're in dire straits. This is a very sad state of affairs. And if you think you can enjoy your extravagance, if you think God's going to allow your conscience that he put in you as a failsafe, you're going to deny that. That's like denying the spirit of truth. That's like denying the Holy Spirit. That's like denying God from your life, from your heart and mind, to say, yes, I can enjoy an extravagant lifestyle and not worry that Jesus Christ himself is suffering needlessly, sometimes dying out in the cold, day in and day out in this country we call the wealthiest nation on earth. And it's a land of immigrants, and just let them all in. And I mean, obviously they're not coming here to be homeless. They got to be taken care of. So yeah, we'll take care of them. But if you're a citizen, no soup for you. I mean, you're just the weak, and we got to lay you out to fallow, and attrition will take care of you. You just die off. You're weak. You get your immune system breaks down, sleeping out in the cold, and you just lose your will to live. You die younger, and we'll keep shipping in young, strong immigrants and telling you you're bad and you're un-American if you're anti doing that, right? Isn't that what's going on? It's evil. Evil in the land. I welcome all the foreigners. I'm not. Don't put me in that corner. But I say let's be reasonable here. Let's do things in an orderly fashion, a first come, first serve. That's all. I'm not radical. I mean, you see, maybe I'm really a hippie. I was thinking about getting a line of T-shirts, and one of the T-shirts would say "hippie in disguise." People, yeah, they want to judge a book by its cover, and you can't do that. You just can't do that. But does that mean hippies can't be Republicans, or hippies can't have logical economic reasoning that's fiscally prudent? I don't know. You see, but that's what they would like you to believe. That, I'm with the rich Republicans, I'm a Trumper, I'm a MAGA guy. No, none of those things are true. I feel sorry for Trump because he should have talked to Dr. Russell Blaylock a long time ago, but I got wind of the fact he was drinking 6 or something diet sodas a day. Diet soda, that's with the aspartame, and you see what Dr. Russell Blaylock says about that. Brain damage. I mean, Trump's got a hell of a constitution. He's been living on Mackey burgers and diet soda pop, and he still looks as good as he does at his age. It's pretty damn good. He's got a good constitution. I bet he was a breastfed baby. But his brain is probably damaged. Otherwise, I can't understand why he didn't suck up to the media. He was, that race was very close with he and Biden. If he had been nicer to the media, he would have been president right now. I firmly believe that. But the brain damage got the better of him, and he couldn't behave himself. And I feel sorry for him, and I feel sorry for all those that like Trump. I mean, I don't like multi-billionaires, but he said he was ashamed of homelessness in America, and that was the one and only reason that got me to vote for him. Okay, that was it. I thought now he's going to do something because he's ashamed. His conscience has been quickened. He wants to enjoy prosperity. He knows the only way he can do that is by looking after the downtrodden, looking after Jesus Christ. To please God, that's the only way we can ever find real happiness